welcome. I'm really excited you're all here. It's fun to see faces that are familiar. It's fun to see new faces and new folks. I'm really excited to be here today with you and looking forward to our time together. So what I like to do at the beginning of any group event is just have everybody start with some breathing so that we are all in the same space energetically. So if you know quantum touch breathing, please begin to breathe and sweep. Maybe using one of our maintenance breaths, 4-4. 2-6. If you are not familiar with quantum touch breathing, please just begin to relax into your breathing, taking a nice full breath, filling the body with your breath, releasing the breath, allowing a very nice relaxed breath, but easing into maybe a longer exhale, then inhale. Good. So as we are working with the ideas of manifesting today, I encourage you to have an open mind. Sometimes our logical minds get in the way of our playful minds. And so just asking the logical mind to take a step back and allow for the playful mind to come forward in whatever way that makes sense to you. Excellent. And just a couple more breaths here and allowing for this special time together to get underway. Good. All right. So you're here to learn about manifesting miracles and the quantum touch view on what that looks like. So the first thing I think we need to talk about, Jennifer, is just the situation that we find ourselves in today as an interesting miracle with Richard.
So in the manifesting miracles and in my own work, there is a concept that we teach called dark miracles. And a dark miracle is something that appears initially to be negative. I call it less than optimal. And I'm sure that we've had many of these situations in our lives. And I like to reframe it because I like to believe that the highest good is always happening in the world and in our lives. And sometimes the universe is guiding us to shift into a different direction with a dark miracle. And what is happening right now is Richard was unable to join today. We promised that Richard would be here. We sent out the email saying that Richard would be here. And Richard, unfortunately, had he lives in Mexico, and he had an issue with a parasite and got sick. So he will not be joining us today. And we thought this would be the perfect opportunity to start talking about the concept of dark miracles, because we do believe that when you're sick or when something negative happens, there's a gift for you in this situation. And I know I could name many dark miracles in my life. And I thought, Miriam, you could comment a bit on what that means and how it has impacted you.
Yes. So just manifesting miracles in general. In terms of quantum touch, we're talking about the idea that there are so many possibilities. There are possibilities that are endless, that we don't have any ideas about. There are possibilities of futures that are endless. There are possibilities of pasts that are endless. And so when we're looking at manifesting, where is it that we are actually manifesting from? And Richard's understanding of it is that we are always manifesting from the future. And when we connect with those possible futures, they already know how we got there. And so when we're looking at these futures and allowing them to give us information about how to get to that incredible future that we are desiring, there are a lot of things that can happen along the way. Jennifer is talking about the idea of dark miracles. And when we're looking at the idea of dark miracles, that would be something that happens that we didn't plan on, that we aren't expecting, that maybe quite often feels terrible, but it gets us and moves us into a different place. A dark miracle is something that takes what we're doing, walking down the road, doing our regular day-to-day, and says, wait a minute, is this really where you need to be? And dark miracles show us places in our lives, in our being, where maybe we not truly been in alignment with our best future. So it gives us a place to maybe redirect, to maybe rethink. When we're looking at our usual work in quantum touch of working with the inner healer, we look at the body as a communication device that tells us where we haven't been in alignment. And when we have pain or dis-ease or discomfort, it is the body showing us where we have gotten out of alignment. And the same is true in manifesting. Our inner manifester will give us indications when maybe we aren't headed in the right direction, a possible reset. And each painful experience, and as Richard is going through right now, is an opportunity to look at why and what else can I gain from this? What else can I understand from this? So we look at these ideas of dark miracles as possibilities for growth and possibilities and maybe more clearly to what our inner manifester is trying to tell us and in what way. And in talking talking to Richard just before this call, one of the things that he said was, I've been considering whether my time in Mexico is coming to an end. And maybe this is just a big indicator that yes, it's time to look at some other events, some other horizons, some other possibilities here. So an interesting little aside to talk about dark miracles first. It's not usually where we start off when we're talking about miracles. But it is part of our class when you take the full class. So just a little aside on that. So in general, when we are talking about miracles, as I said, we have all these possibilities. We have all of these futures that are here for us that can give us information about how to move forward. We're always talking about resonance and entrainment. And when we are vibrating at a certain resonant vibration, we are attracting things in that resonant vibrational space. So when we are looking to attract something, what we need to do is raise our own vibrational energetic level to be in alignment with that higher vibrating energy of the thing that we're hoping to desire and manifest. So Richard gives us in this workshop of manifesting miracles, the complete workshop, many, many tools.
Oh dear.
And this workshop, when it came about, was actually so this, when this workshop came about, it was a collaborative effort. Richard had these understandings, and then he also asked for some help, and Tyler Odysseus and Henry for Jewel, and I worked with him to bring this workshop forward. A very fun time exploring and playing in the energies with them and looking at what are different ways that we can tap into these futures, and bring them forward so that we are in that same resonant vibrational space, in training with that future self that we desire, and we would like to be a part of. So we're utilizing the life force energy, we're utilizing the quantum touch breathing, we are utilizing all the tools that we know of in quantum touch when we take the level 1, all the principles that remain true through level 1 and supercharging, through level 2, self-created health. We're utilizing all of those ideas, but also allowing for this information from the future to impact us, to change us. And it's very powerful. When we allow the future to change us, it is our inner manifester who knows us, who is really eager for us to move forward into this higher vibrating energy. When we're working in the energy with these future selves, we are allowed to see, what is it that will bring us to that higher vibrating space. We are able to enter and explore the field of miracles. And within these aspects that each of our future selves have to offer us, there are gifts. And sometimes the gifts are things you understand. Sometimes the gifts from these future selves simply are raising your vibration so that then the next time you're out, you have a connection. Maybe you meet someone, maybe you hear about something. There are different ways that our future selves and the universe and the energy has to bring to us the things that we're desiring. So it opens the door to all of that. It opens the door to really being able to tangibly reach out and get information. It's a way to give us a path to those desires that we are wanting to bring forward in our lives. When we're working with the inner manifester, just as when we're working with the inner healer, it's based in simplicity. Our intention is the first aspect of that. Our intention to work with those future selves gives us the connection to them and the ability to move forward and more closely align with those future selves. When we are looking at manifesting, usually when you think about manifesting, you're thinking about the things maybe that you don't want. Or maybe you are looking to your past and saying, well, the last time I did this, this happened or that happened. And so instead of looking toward the future and saying what is possible, we're looking to the past and saying, I don't want that to happen. But in this workshop, we have tools to bring us forward into that higher vibrating energy. And instead of looking in that rear view mirror to see where we're going, we have signposts and different ways to look forward. I see this question come up about the inner healer and the inner manifester. They are one, right? Our inner healer, we usually use that in the level 1 classes and things like that to describe someone who is looking for our health. But our inner healer also is working to make sure that our emotional health is good, our spiritual health is good, not just our physical health. So the same idea is true of the inner manifester. When we're working with the inner manifester, inner healer, they're working to make sure that our health is good, our emotional health is good, our spiritual health is good, so that we can manifest and do the things that we are to do to reach our goals here. So we kind of use the term interchangeably, inner healer and inner manifester. But the idea is that you are tapping into that greater knowledge that is working toward your good, right? We talk some in this workshop about the idea of pronoia, and Richard calls that the opposite of paranoia. So the idea when you're paranoid is that you are fearful of something happening, but pronoia is the idea that everything is happening for your good. So if the universe, if all of your futures are dynamically drawing you forward with all goodness, then we can trust that everything that happens to us is for a reason and is propelling us and drawing us forward dynamically into those futures that we desire. So when we're working with the idea of this inner healer, inner manifester, we are trusting with the idea of pronoia, that everything is for our good. So when we look at the idea of, like, for instance, Richard, with this situation he finds himself in today, what is the universe showing him? What is the universe bringing forward to him, knowing that this is in his best interest? And that's not something for us to think about or determine. It's something for his inner manifester and his inner healer to show him. And the whole idea of inner healer and inner manifester is that we have within us all that we need. We have within us all that we need. The universe is supplying us with the beautiful love, compassion, energy. It's simply our intention and our attention to bring it forward. And of course, in Quantum Touch, we're utilizing our breathing and our sweeping to amplify the energy and allow for more and for expansion in that way. We are creators. And that's what we do. That's what you've been doing since the minute you came into this world. You have been creating. And in the manifesting workshop, what we do is more directly interact with our inner manifester. We get to know, we create a relationship with that inner manifester and really get to know and then to recognize, how does my inner manifester, my inner healer, speak to me? How can I know how to move forward? What are some of the signs? What is the information that I can understand from that inner knowledge, that inner manifester that's going to assist me in raising my vibration and moving forward into that higher resonant vibration? And we utilize a lot of tools to do that and have a lot of fun in the class. I know there are a couple of questions coming up, and Jennifer, you had some questions also, if you want to jump in with some of those.
Yeah, so I have a few questions. I answer a lot of the customer service calls for Quantum Touch, and there seems to be a couple of themes. One is physical pain. The other is I can't afford to do anything. I can't afford a workshop. So financial and physical pain. And my question is, when you're in the thick of it, when you're actually suffering, back to the dark miracles, how do you keep the faith that this is for your highest good? Do you have like a way to baby step people into a more positive state?
Yes, I'm going to say yes. The first thing would be, our head has a lot of information that it tries to put us down this path, right? But our head only has a limited knowledge of all the possibilities, right? So if we're only relying on our head to figure something out, then again, we're going back to what is that in the past, what got me here, what is that looking in the rearview mirror that I talked about earlier. And if instead we let go of that and begin to say, what would happen if I were simply to say, brain, take a rest? What would be a playful solution? What would be a playful thing that would elevate my vibration just a little bit and get out of the space of the brain trying to figure things out? Because the brain doesn't have all the answers. The heart has a lot of answers. That greater field that we live in has a lot of answers. But relying on the brain isn't always going to get it. And usually when we rely on the brain, we are working with the old. And if you're only working with the old, there are no new ideas there, right? So we talk about intention, we talk about breathing and attention, and what we bring our focus to time and again is what we're going to see. So if time and again you're complaining about money issues, then what are you telling the universe? My focus is totally on money issues. Please bring me more. Right? And why would we want to do that? Why instead wouldn't we say, wow, money, can you show me some, or universe, show me money. Show me how I can be more at ease with money, or show me, and it might be just the simplest thing of, oh, look, acknowledging there's a coin on the ground and picking it up, right? So being in that space of allowing your mind to get out of the trap of where it's been. So bringing in that attention, your intention, and then looking at a different way to frame it, basically without a frame. So let's just take a minute and play with that and think about something that maybe in your life right now is seeming like an obstacle. Some place where, oh, you're just, this is happening time and again, or it's showing up, it hasn't shown up for a while, whatever it is, but a place where there is an issue and you're trying to figure it out. So I know each of you has something in mind, or maybe more than one something. So you have it in mind, and what I'd ask you to do is just think about, okay, I see you there, but you don't have to take precedence. So what I'd like you to do is close your eyes. You already know what the issue is. You already know what's going on. And allow for whatever that little issue is to retreat a little. And take a nice big breath, bringing in maybe new ideas, maybe the idea that there is a different approach, maybe bringing in some other information, maybe just a little sense of it's not as big a problem as I thought. And just in that little bit of ease, you might be able to take a deeper breath. So you already have this idea of this issue. But what if instead of the issue, you think about, I know there is at least one solution. The universe knows there are a multitude of solutions. So if my mind's taking a break with that issue over there, but I'm opening up to the possibilities, what might I imagine coming toward me? What might I imagine glancing down and seeing? And it doesn't have to be a whole dissertation. It doesn't have to be anything. We're talking about energetic. And if you see, maybe it's just, I have a sense of something energetic, allow it to come closer to you. Allow it to come more into your field. Allow it to come into your vibrational space so that what you are allowing in comes closer to you realizing the manifestation of the solution. And when you allow for more is going to come to you because you're indicating to your inner manifester, my head might not have all the solutions, but I know there are solutions out there. And if I know that there are solutions out there, then solutions can come to me. And if solutions can come to me, they will come to me. And that's when it starts to shift.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Here's another, it's a beautiful meditation, and it's interesting the timing of this next question. Get this a lot. Will quantum touch fix my scoliosis or back issue or ear problem, or will it fix me? And I would love you to speak into that.
Okay. So it's interesting that you say fix, because I don't see that we are broken. But I know what people think. People think, okay, I've got this issue. I want it done. I want it fixed. And in Quantum Touch, we talk about that idea that whatever is coming forward, whether it be a physical symptom, a spiritual symptom, a money symptom, whatever area of life this symptom is coming up, it's just simply an area where we have room to grow. Quantum Touch gives us tools to grow. Quantum Touch gives us tools to grow in all areas of our life. And if we utilize those tools, then we will find some resolution. It might not always be the resolution we in our minds have created, but it is a resolution and will lead us to the next thing and the next and the next. So the term fix, again, I'm not real wild about, but when we are working with resonance and entrainment, and we are working and playing in the energy and increasing our own resonant vibration, manifesting follows, or manifesting is the first, and just by us connecting, it brings us to it, is actually the better thing. Yeah.
I guess fix wasn't quite the correct term. I do agree we're not broken. But I do get those calls a lot. You can Quantum Touch heal my back pain? Can Quantum Touch, fix my tooth? Then I use that term. I hear it so often when people call. And I think to really get into this space of understanding that it's the inner healer that fixed that. That term is just stuck. Okay. It's the inner healer that does the healing work, and that Quantum Touch, we're just facilitating the work of the inner healer. So it's still up to your body to do its own healing work. And we provide the energy, as you say. We can lift the frequency, and then the body can use a higher frequency, or we bring more love into the situation, and the body uses that love to facilitate its healing. And I think a lot of people call in, they're still in the mentality that we're doing something to you, and it's really you're healing yourself. We're just offering love and energy and connection and resonance. So I wanted to really address that. It's part of the manifesting, because so here's what I noticed. If you say, I like to use finances as an example, because it is a lot of people call in with that, and say, okay, I would like an extra $3,000 this month. The first thing that tends to happen is people say, oh no, that's never going to happen. So right away, when we want to manifest something, we're almost putting one step forward and three steps backwards, saying, well, I don't believe that that's even possible, yet we want it. So I think our own self-doubt about our ability to manifest really gets in the way a lot of times. We don't really think that's possible. I don't think it's possible to be out of pain. I don't think it's possible to have extra money this month. I think a lot of people feel like a victim to whatever it is, their body or society. Or one of the things I think, and you can speak into this, is that when you want to manifest, it requires you to step out of the victim kind of mentality that life is happening to you and that you can create it. So I thought maybe you could speak into that a bit.
So as creators, we create. If we're creating limitations for ourselves, we can create limitations for ourselves. When we are looking at, healing this, bringing that, manifesting this, there is someone out there, something out there that has healed from that has brought that in, that has manifested. So if someone out there can do it, or something out there can do it, why not me? Why not you? Right? When we work with the tools and get used to the breathing, the interacting with the energy, inviting the energy in, what happens is we start to attract to ourselves energetic matches. So those attractor particles, if you will, get excited and start attracting more, right? We're always attracting to us like things, but when we step out of those lower vibrating energies, we're able to step into the higher vibrating energies and attract higher vibrating information, higher vibrating cells in our bodies, higher vibrations for abundance. So it is using, like I said, the intention, the attention, the idea that there are all of these possibilities, and tapping into that possibility and bringing it closer to you, bringing it into your resonant vibrational field that is going to allow for the shift.
Yeah, that's really important, I think, to believe it's actually possible and stop sabotaging our own energy, because we are much more powerful than we believe. And here's an interesting question. What was the last thing you consciously manifested using the manifesting miracles technique, and how long did it take to come into fruition? And I would like to share my answer to that, and then Miriam can share. And then after this, we can open it up to questions for everyone. And so I use manifesting miracles techniques a lot of the time in business, because I run a business, Quantum Touch, and I specifically use it with money, because business requires income. And what I do is I have fun with it. It's a play. It's not, I don't get too serious about it. And it usually takes 1 or 2 days to manifest money a lot of the times, or manifest enough funding to, let's say, work on our website or some other areas. And the biggest issue that I deal with is my own self-doubt. So what I did was, at first I started with baby steps, saying, today I want to manifest, maybe $200 or a small amount. And I keep increasing the amount, because I have to get my head wrapped around my own self-doubt. So I like to manifest in smaller, let's say, chunks of reality. So I don't try to manifest something that I feel that I completely doubt. So but it can manifest very quickly if you're fully believe in it. And Miriam.
So one of the ones, the manifestations, I was thinking about this the other day, was manifesting money. So since I began working with the material, I've quadrupled what I've been able to have in savings. And that was huge for me. Still is huge for me. I'm looking to next steps, right? But just having that idea that, wow, I don't have a specific thing, but I do want to increase that abundance in terms of money and what feels like, you know, a safe space with money. And it's been incredible to see that grow in that way. And it's fun. And the more fun it is, the more the energy is raised, you know, because we're in that space of, okay, if it's fun, then what would it be? What would be more fun? Okay, manifesting more money would be more fun. Okay, we can do that. Wouldn't that be fun? And then it just keeps going and keeps going. Just it's an incredible experience. So I see there's also a question about how specifically to bring the possibilities closer into the field. When we are working with the ideas, you know, simply thinking about it is bringing your attention to it, right? If you ask for it to come closer, if you ask for more information about it, if you allow for it to show you something, if you are in a space of allowance with the possibilities, you may be surprised at what shows up. You know, we talk about releasing an attachment to outcome in our level 1 classes, because quite often, as I said, when we think about an outcome, we think, okay, there's this outcome, but we don't think about the zillion other outcomes. And in manifesting, when we are working with possibilities, we are allowing the space for other possibilities that are even better to show up for us. We aren't saying this and only this, right? We're saying what else is possible here and how can it come to me with greater ease, and tapping into that higher resonating vibration that is more in alignment with it.
Great. I wanted to, somebody asked more specifics here, which is kind of fun because it's really politically incorrect to talk about specific dollar amounts, but I'm going to break that and I'm going to go into specific dollar amounts. Because somebody asked, they want specific numbers. So basically, I decided to play a game with my investing and open up, can I allow more? Because I do have my own, you know, limits that I have self-imposed on my own finances. So I thought yesterday, wouldn't it be nice to make $2,500 today in one day with investing, right? And I started the morning out that way. By the end of the day, I'd made $2,500 with just, you know, my fun investing, because it's still, you know, I know some people have this idea of making 100,000 in one day. There is really no limit, and that was my own comfort level, but it does work if you can get really comfortable saying, all right, I'll make $2,500 today investing. Because I had to work up to that, because to me, that used to be a lot of money for one day, and now it's kind of getting a little more comfortable. But that's kind of a specific dollar amount for people. But I don't think that's as important as your ability to feel comfortable with that. And getting to that place where you feel really comfortable. Maybe you're comfortable struggling with money, because I know I used to be really comfortable with having no money. It was my comfort zone, or having debt and no money. And then I had to gradually kind of get myself a little more comfortable with having maybe a little savings. So to me, the only limit on that is yourself. And I'm still working through that because I grew up with a lot of kind of scarcity consciousness. On that note, I just wanted to say that our call today, we wanted to talk about the manifesting miracles because Miriam has a class coming up at the end of January. We thought January is the perfect time to work on what we want to manifest in 2024. The techniques are really wonderful. I mean, I use it all the time to manifest stuff because I let the future create me, right? And it's a really amazing technique. And so I wanted to put the link on if you wanted more details about the course. I'm going to put it in the chat here for everyone. And now we also will continue to address questions here. So somebody said, how specifically do you manifest something that has not been mentioned? If we take money as an example, you say be playful with it, but is there a formula? I do believe there are formulas involved in manifesting. The law of attraction a lot of times does us a disservice because we think we want to manifest something, we're not really a match for it, and then it doesn't happen and we get discouraged. That's been my experience of law of attraction. So I will let Miriam speak into that, and also our workshop coming up. It's very technique oriented. So Miriam, would you like to comment?
Very technique oriented. Yes. And there are techniques for just being very playful. There are techniques for being very specific and making lists. There are a lot of ways to approach the manifesting in the Manifesting Miracles workshop. What I would like to do, Jennifer, actually is just play a little bit in the manifesting field, if we can, for the next couple of minutes. Is that okay? Good. So let's, once again, we're going to return to the breath. And I know that you have in your life something that maybe you're wanting to bring forward, feel more comfortable with, see manifest. Maybe it's in the area of money. Maybe it's in the area of career. Maybe it's in the area of relationships. Maybe it's in the area of health. And as you begin to feel this, I want you to notice when you think about this idea of manifesting this into your life, I want you to think about not just it being out there and you being here, but as you begin to think about it, begin to notice your body, begin to notice maybe your field, what it feels like just beyond you, but mostly your body. And notice in your body if there is a place of tension, if there's a place of unrest, if there's a place where it doesn't feel in alignment with this goal, this manifestation. It might even be as simple as you aren't able to take a full breath. Or it might be a queasiness. Or it might be pain underneath your shoulder blades. Or heaviness around your shoulders. Whatever it is, I want you to go to that place in your body with your mind's eye, with your intention, and simply be in the space in your body where you are feeling that. And as you're imagining yourself in that space, just take a nice big breath. Release that breath and maybe find a little ease. Maybe you sense something about this space. And in this space, I would like you also to begin to expand your awareness. Maybe you look around in this space in your body where this tension is held, and you begin to offer some light, another breath, some ease. And what you might notice as you're offering that breath or that ease is that that area may shift, or you may see another area in your body or feel something else. And if you do, that's perfectly fine. Go to that space and again, offer a breath, offer maybe a thought of something that you love, the idea of some ease. And you can continue to do this until something shifts or you notice something different or it moves to a different area. But the idea is you are creating a relationship with your desire. You're creating a relationship to bring forward that you want to manifest. And if in some place there is doubt in your body or there is tightness in your body that maybe hasn't been allowing for that, you're offering it the space to ease. You're allowing for your resonant vibration and the resonant vibration of this manifestation to come into greater alignment. And as you get more comfortable in that space, there is greater and greater alignment, and the possibilities open to more and more. So just in a very playful way, offering the breath, offering ease, allowing for information from that which you desire to come to you, to shift you into greater alignment. Feeling is a really great way of noticing when we are and are not in alignment. So the more you feel into it, the greater ease you're going to have in aligning with it.
Love that. You can almost tell, or mostly tell, or always tell that you're not in alignment with something by seeing how your body feels around the desired manifestation. Love that.
Exactly.
So I want to thank everyone for joining. Miriam, did you have any final comments for the group?
I've just loved being in the energy with you all, and I hope to see you in another event like this, or a Quantum Touch energy share, or some other quantum touchness. Thank you for being here. I see a question. How many hours is the full class? The Manifesting Miracles is about 13 and a half hours. The one that is set up for late January, it takes place over 4 days. So it's about 4 hours segments each time. But you can also take it in a 2-day class. And if you look on the Quantum Touch website, you'll see where those are offered and when those are offered. So,
Great.
good.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. If you have any more questions, feel free to email us, mail@quantumtouch.com. I really appreciate you all joining.